an angle that measures 1 radian is a central angle in a circle that cuts off an arc equal in length to the radius of a circle. So over here we have theta is a central angle in a circle of radius r. Find theta if r is equal to 3 centimeters and s is equal to 9 centimeters. So I'll just draw a little picture here for reference. Here's my circle. Theta is a central angle in this circle with a radius of 3 centimeters. Now that angle cuts off an arc of length 3, 6, 9. So just to get it approximately correct, this is 9 centimeters, this is 3 centimeters, and this is my angle theta, which is a central angle in this circle of radius r, and it cuts off an arc of length 9 centimeters. That means the radian measure for angle theta is going to be s divided by r, that's its definition, which is going to be 9 divided by 3, centimeters divide out, which comes out to be 3. So theta is equal to 3 radians, and we can leave the unit of radians on there or we can drop it off. If I say theta has a measure of 3, it means 3 radians. So if I write radians or if I don't write radians, either way it means radians. If I want my angle measured in degrees, I have to use the degree symbol on it. Here's our next problem. Convert 2 pi over 3 radians, it's understood to be radians, to degrees. Now here's the relationship that I have between radians and degrees. Pi radians is equal to 180 degrees. So that means that pi divided by 180 or 180 divided by pi is just the number 1. So if I take my angle 2 pi over 3 and multiply it by 180 degrees divided by pi radians, I know that this is just the number 1. So I haven't changed the value of this expression right here by multiplying it by the number 1, but I can divide out the pi's, and then let's see, 3 divides into 180 60 times 2, 120 degrees. So here's how I can convert 2 pi over 3 radians into degrees. I multiply by 180 over pi, and I end up with 120 degrees. So 120 degrees, that angle is exactly the same in measure as an angle of 2 pi over 3 radians. Let's go in the other direction. I want to convert negative 150 degrees to radians. So what I'm going to do is remember that 180 degrees is equal to pi radians. So I have negative 150 degrees will be equal to negative 150 degrees times, okay, now I want my degrees to divide out and I want to be left with radians. So I'm going to multiply by pi over 180 degrees. Now my degrees will divide out and I'll be left with radians. So let's see what we get here. I'll divide 10 into both of those. I'll divide 3 into this, it goes 5 times. 3 into this, it goes 6 times. Negative 5 pi over 6 radians is the same as negative 150 degrees. So negative 150 degrees and negative 5 pi over 6 radians, exactly the same thing. Here's my next example. I want to simplify x plus pi over 2 if x is equal to pi over 6. So let's just get a little experience here with adding radian measure angles. Sine of, okay, x is pi over 6. So I have pi over 6 plus pi over 2. So this will be sine of, let's see, a common denominator here is 6. I'll multiply this by 3 over 3. So I have 3 pi plus 1 pi is 4 pi over 6, which is sine of, I'll reduce that to lowest terms, 2 pi over 3. Now, maybe I don't have this memorized, this 2 pi over 3, what the sine of 2 pi over 3 is, so maybe I'll just convert this to degrees real quick, and then I can find what the sine of that is. Let's just see. 2 pi over 3 times 180 over pi. Pi's divide out. 3 divides into their 60 times. I get 120 degrees. So this is the same as the sine of 120 degrees. 120 degrees terminates in quadrant 2. In quadrant 2, the trigonometric function sine is positive, the reference angle for 120 degrees is going to be 60 degrees. And so now plus sine 60 degrees, the sine of 60 degrees, that's the one I have memorized for my exact values, square root 3 over 2. So maybe you have memorized that 2 pi over 3 is the same as 120 degrees, and you can just go right from here down to here. But either way, I can take my radian measure anytime I want and convert to degrees. We're all going to be a little more familiar intuitively with degree measure than radian measure, so we may want to do this more than once. But I change to degree measure, go over here, sine 120. It terminates in quadrant 2. In quadrant 2, the trigonometric sign is positive, and so I have the sine of its reference angle 60. That I've memorized as square root 3 over 2.